amazing Tuesday we have here, right? Towards the end of June. Right, last Tuesday in June. Woo. So, if you haven't noticed, Bitcoin, and the rest of crypto, right? But specifically Bitcoin, because why? Well, because it's the market, right? Yes, there are millions of other coins. Some of them are even liquid, but being real, Bitcoin is the market, right? That's why people trade it. That's why people want it. That's why it's the number one, big gorilla. Right? The elephant in the china shop, so to speak. What did it do yesterday? Well, what did it do exactly what I pretty much told you it was going to do, according to the probabilities? Yeah, yes it did. Right? Did we tell you yesterday in the good old Alpha Trading live stream what levels it was likely to get to and what the probabilities were of it doing so? And did I tell you that the asset was likely to have trending moves on lower time frames and probably also on the 15-minute after the initial one in the morning? Yeah, in the very early part of the day. Yes. And did it have a trending move on the 15-minute later in the day? Yes. Right before end of trading on traditional markets? Yes. And did it drop down further from where it was after the initial drop of the day? Yes. And did it hit the 1110 third standard deviation band to the downside on the 7-day? Why, yes. I mean, on the daily, yes, it did. Yes, on the daily. And did it hit the RMLRs in various different time frames and mean revert on various fast little scalps? Yes, it did. And at the end, after the final big drop of the day, when it hit that Laplace level, right, or just next to it, on the 4-hour, for example, right, after it passed the daily, that bottom daily for Laplace, did it hit? When once it hit that 4-hour one, or came real close to it, like within $40 or something, did it bounce nicely? Why, yes, it did. How did it bounce? According to the VRE levels. Right? Right, yes, it did. Is the 7-day mean reversion to the 30 power mean and the 33 power mean still in play? Yes, it is. It is still in play. Is it possible that we could see it complete those mean reversions without it hitting the third band to the downside on the 3012 RMLRs on the daily? Why, yes. Yes, it is. So is it still in mean reversion to the 3012 RMLR, which is way above, even though it fell yesterday, the asset? Yes. Yes, it is. How can that be? Well, because mean reversions can happen up, down, or sideways, or any combination thereof. So we could easily see the asset fall. In fact, today it could fall to that level to close the 30 power mean and not touch the 3012 RMLR standard deviation band. Right? It could touch that 7-day 30 power mean, which is at 57 and change, and the 3012 RMLR's third band down is now below that on the daily. So it could complete that power mean reversion even today. It doesn't have to do it today, but it could happen today or sometime this week, or maybe next week. Right? It's possible it could go a little bit down, sideways, back up, and then back down in next week or the week after completed. It's entirely possible. That's entirely possible. Now that the asset has also hit the third band down on the daily on the 1110 RMLR, guess what happens once it stops hitting that band? Yeah, it's going to mean reversion of that 1110 RMLR. I mean, that could happen today. It could just mean revert to it right away. It doesn't even And it's so close it might not even weigh 2 candles. But if it continues to fall today, so far it's been bouncing today because a little bounce after that drop. Right? And if you look at the bounce that it's had, it went up already over like 2% from that bounce, which is, again, a very nice bounce. If you took that long from that Laplace level, it's 2% up. Oh, but it went down 7%. Yeah, okay, well, it went back up 2%. What's the big deal? And then when it goes down, if you're shorting, what do you care? If it goes up on your long, what do you care? As long as you're winning the trades. So yesterday, Bitcoin broke, right? And the big bounce is brewing. So Bitcoin breaks, big bounce brews. That's the title of this video, because we're talking about the fact that it did break, and it does break on a regular basis, right? It breaks up, it breaks down. In this case, it broke down and began a little bounce up, which again could be rather temporary, because if you look at the AVRs on the daily, you'll see that they're actually, for the most part, looking still down. Right? They're not looking particularly glorious to the upside. No, they're looking pretty good to the downside. Right? Just like yesterday, only the long length is a little bit less than full dump zone, but short length to medium length, pretty dumpy. And same with variance, looking dumpy. And look, yesterday was a trending move to the downside on entropy was beginning, and we saw several candles of trending moves to the downside on the 4 hour, but the daily itself was beginning a trending move. So if today continues that trending move, don't be surprised if it breaks down further. And we can easily see it, like I said, hit that third band down on the 30-12 RMLR on the daily, which if it does, hey buddy. If it does hit that band, well, it's not going to hit that band until it reverses to the 30-12 RMLR, but if it goes down towards there, it could easily complete that mean reversion to the power mean, the 30 power mean today. It could easily bounce up from there, right, and then roll over in the next couple of days, and when it falls back down, complete the mean reversion to the 33 power mean maybe next week sometime, and then it would have completed both of those mean reversions to the power mean. By the way, they could also both happen at the same time. If that happens, probably next week or the week after, they could both happen at the same time. But I'd be surprised if it doesn't complete. Wouldn't be that very surprised, but it would be. It looks slightly less probable that would happen, rather than the 30 power mean finishing like maybe this week or next week, and then the 33 happening maybe a week or two after that. The only reason for that, although they're only a couple $1,000 away from each other, but the only reason for that is just based on where the RMLRs are traveling through, or where the bands are traveling through. Of course, those bands, can and do repaint. Those are not price predictors; they're direction predictors. When the actual candle in question is in action, then those lines, are positioned to where they actually are mathematically. Like, yes, even mathematically beforehand, those are where they are, but the predictions are of the direction, not of the actual number. Once we see where it actually prints, not in the future but in the present, then it's not a prediction so much as just a report of this is where it is, right? It's not predicting where the RMLR will be on the actual candle. It's only predicting it in the future, obviously. Right? The current candle is current, not a prediction. But the predictive power of knowing the direction of the RMLR gives you incredible insight into the outer limits for both distribution and mean reversion. It gives you the targets, right? The distribution targets are the outer limits targets, and it gives you the mean reversion targets, which is where the RMLR is at. And of course, once it hits that RMLR, it will either continue through or sit there for a little while before it moves, because very often, like we've seen on the daily lately, it was like it would be riding on an RMLR for a few days, and like it was riding down the 1110 RMLR until yesterday, at which point it fell through well below it and hit the third man down on the 1110 RMLR. If you're wondering what the RMLR is, like if you're new to this whole thing, it's our little indicator at Alpha Trading, our little indicator that is able to tell the direction of the future means. And that's very powerful. Like, it's not it works 70% of the time thing. It just works. We're able to tell you the direction of the future means, specifically the reverse mean of log returns, the RMLR. You want to know how that works? Come learn. We'll show you. It's unique to our trading suite. Something we discovered, something we made. Our math and coder folks built that thing. Well, yeah, they built. Our math guy came in one day and said, "Hey, check this thing out." And we did. And then we got to discovering some things about it. And we figured out some more things about it. And tested it, and asked our math guy if he could do something like this, something like that. Sure enough, he did. And lo and behold, the RMLR, the Alpha Trading RMLR specifically, was born with predictive power that no other one has. And they don't understand how to use it, even if they would have it, because, well, they don't use it. You didn't discover this stuff and they haven't learned it. Maybe somebody's watched the videos. Somebody that isn't in the community. That's very, we know that people watch. Maybe somebody's watched and tried to do it. Good luck to them. Not quite as easy as it sounds, I can assure you. But what's amazing is how well it actually works. And, how much you can actually use it to predict. Oh, what a cute doggy. I'm easily distracted by cute dogs and cats. So, if you want to learn how to use the RMLR, like I said, just join the Alpha Trading Discord, and then you can tell. Once you actually learn how to use the volatility indicators that we give away for free. But you can even just watch our videos, our live streams, for example, where we cover it, and you can watch the tutorial video about the RMLR, and it's on our YouTube and all that stuff. All you got to do is just go to alphatradinghq.com/Discord, and you'll find the links to the request support channel where you can ask for the free access to the volatility starter kit. When you get that volatility starter kit, you'll have all the access you need to all the educational info about the indicators you get free access to, and you have all the indicator videos that we have, tutorial videos to show you how to use it, and you have access to the chat with the traders in real time, as well as the traders during the live streams, also in real time, where you can participate and not just watch